I almost got induced to selling it too low when we were away from the VWAP. Waiting for a better entry price and selling it back in the direction of trend is way better off. And I want to show you how we did it today on stream. Just another simple day of one trade, in and out. But most importantly, we'll take a look at some of the early trades this week because that was mostly the confusing part. We had some clean setups all week and it looks just like this. But first off, let's just get right to the trade. This is the long. So if you remember, if you've seen previous videos, if you tune into stream, I'm trading ES, looking at the opening range and this New York VWAP. So that New York VWAP anchor from the open here, it's definitely sellers in control. New low of day. I preach it all the time in my free strategy on ASFX TV. Don't chase the first break of opening range low. Often doesn't run, so we let it pull back. Maybe this is our better sell price. Rather than chasing it on the drift lower, get it after a pullback when it's most ready to try to make another new low. That's what we've been doing all week, and we'll take up some of those markups. But this one is a little bit different because if you look at the left side, using that 15-minute as always, but it's really just where are we really in relation to VWAP. Look at the pre-market. If I have to explain to someone, I got in short here. It's going to look pretty tough. Yes, it can keep going lower, and that's why we were on stream. People were taking it short, and I'm saying, yeah, I don't hate the short. If you guys win that, I'm not going to be surprised because it would make a lot of sense. Sellers have been in control. I'm trying to time the pullback of when some buyers are going to step in, which is definitely the tougher money. But regardless, just seeing this big move down, and now I'm going to get in. Something just in me just finds it tough to warrant that trade because it's so low. Obviously, it's not too low unless it goes lower. You're going to be saying, yeah, there's still plenty of sellers left in this thing. But the whole being was on stream, I said when we got up to this New York VWAP, I'm not going to take that long because that's going to be super aggressive on saying we're going to pull back immediately. If I could see sellers try to step back in and fail, and now buyers are really taking control a second time, that might convince me enough that, yeah, we can try to make this pullback play work, which was this, right? Sellers try to take this lower day view up and failed. All right, so now that buyers are back above New York, let's go higher now. And that is what ended up happening, but you can see this is really more so the failure on sellers really try to take the low of day VWAP, don't continue momentum. So this is the fail, right? Sellers don't keep that momentum going. Now that buyers are back in, they're ready to keep going. So I had the right idea, and it did play out just 8 minutes later. But again, what price are we trying to buy? Well, I'm just trying to get it around this New York VWAP because I know if I'm long at this New York VWAP and we make a new low of day, what am I doing in a long position? We're underneath this overnight VWAP, back underneath low of day in purple, the black New York VWAP. Everything is telling you to sell it. So I just really like the invalidation point of let me see. If sellers can keep this up, I'll get stopped out. If I'm right and we're ready for a pullback because I think we're just a little bit too far too quickly, I should be able to make some money on the pullback. And that's exactly what we did, getting out at the top of opening range high. You can't see it on this markup, so we'll go to the chart here. The top of opening range high is that overnight VWAP. The same level I'm saying we're too far from, right? All of this last time we touched it, all of this move lower, and now I'm going to jump in short. Again, definitely could work, definitely has worked, just not what I was really wanting to see today. So we let the pullback come in. And then trend's ready to go because it's not as exhausted. It just retested its key level, almost got more of the gas in the tank, and now we're ready to go lower, right? So there's even more short opportunities that hopefully no one did it, but the worst thing to do is just get stopped out on that short, which is pretty annoying when you look at it. Stop loss at open range high, just pinned out. That's tough. That'll make you punch your computer 9 times out of 10, and I don't blame you. But you look at sellers step back in on the New York VWAP break. Now this time, well, it's the same price you guys are trying to sell it at back here. So can't blame you for, all right, I wasn't wrong on trying to short it back here. It just maybe wanted to pull back some more. Sellers defended it. Now this would be the really advanced place to sell it, saying this is where sellers are going to defend and stick in with this trend. You get a really great sell price, a great stop loss, maybe a little bit tougher because you're still above that New York VWAP, but that'll be the first opportunity to short it if you're really sticking with that short bias. The other one, if you're waiting for full VWAP alignment, which again would be back on the side of all VWAPs, would be when it breaks back below New York. Stop loss now at the top of that range. It's pretty big, but plenty of gas in the tank. You go get that nice 1 to 2 bar winner, right? But it's the same price. Price is what pays. Sell it off New York, sell it off New York. Just a little bit early today. But now let's go back to, we can go to any of the days. Let's go to Monday. This Monday's trade on the long, new high of day, pull back to New York. Right? Go continue the trend. And it does. You can go to the next day on our Tuesday trade. The short, new low a day, pull back, go short it again, right? So this is literally what happened this morning. New low a day, pull back, go short again. It did, but not until later because we were a little far from VWAP, wanting to retest it there. So on those days, as you can see, I have some random markups here just to try to make it seem a little bit more relatable. Looking at this overnight VWAP and these New York bounces, you can see the black VWAP below us. That's that overnight one I'm saying that we were far from today. You can see I'll play bounces off the New York there because, yeah, we're pretty damn close to it. I don't think it's overextended. It doesn't always have to come back to it. Same thing with this. This is the pullback to it, and now buyers are ready to step back in, right? So I'm not always saying, oh, I need to trade it back to overnight VWAP before I could short it away from it. But if we're super far from it and have been super far from it on a day like this, I'll most likely try to see a little bit more of a full retest before loving the longs or shorts back down. So hopefully that makes sense because there's, again, if you rewind it, go back to here. How could you not say sellers are in control? They definitely are. It's the same setup I just went over, new low a day. Don't chase the first break of open range low. Sellers defend New York. Everyone was so confused when I'm not jumping in short on stream. And I don't blame you because that's the setup we've been taking all week. So again, even if it had lost, I would have reverted back to saying, what are you doing? This is what been paying you all week, just shorting it off the New York VWAP. You're better than that. Why are you trying to time the pullback? So you got to take the good with the bad. It looks good because it won, right? And I still do like the trade. But if it had lost and sellers just stepped right back in, it would have looked like, why are you trying to fight the trend? Sellers are in, just follow the shorts, right? So if you did take the short and you lost money, hopefully you're not mad at yourself. Again, it is a viable trade. And you're going to be wrong sometimes. You're wrong. Guess what happened? You're not really wrong. You're just early. You're going to have to sell it back again and make that money back. All right, that's fine, right? You're not going to hit 100% of the time. So that's all good. But you look at this week, we're swinging the bat pretty well. 100% win rate, I believe, on this week. Keeping it simple. So for anyone that thinks you need multiple trades per day, 1, 2, 1, 1. You have to take a loss, but it's tough to take a loss when you just take 5 or 6 trades. I can go 5 streak, right? I can go 5 trades in a row winning streak. Can I go 20? Probably not. So if I take 20 trades in a week, I'm probably going to lose 6 of them at least, right? So that's not the end of the world. If I can limit the number of trades, there's a greater chance that I win a lot more without taking losses, right? It's still 6 wins at the end of the day, but regardless, I like not taking losses. Feels good. Helps you trade better moving forward because you're seeing things well, you're getting rewarded for it. So like I said, just using this couple VWAP, it hopefully doesn't confuse anyone. It's all on ASFX TV, so if you guys join with the link below, it's absolutely free. You can use code FIRST. You'll get access to Futures 2.0, which is where you'll see these breaks and bounce plays in further detail. And there's an update coming to it. Then also you can tune into the streams when we're taking the trades that we preach in these courses. You can see all the replays to the past streams, ask questions, jump in the chat, and take the trades with us if you like it and you understand it, right? Because like I said, a lot of people, I wouldn't say today, thankfully, they were jumping on the shorts despite me being long because it's not signals. I want you to understand what trade you're taking, why you're taking it, why it may have lost, what you could have done better. And sometimes that means fighting me, or I'll fight the chat and I'll go against what they're looking at. Because again, everyone's got their own specific plan. We're all trading pretty similarly, but at the end of the day, we're all going to take losses. Earlier in the week, I was taking the winners, they were taking the losers. Today, sometimes it's reversed, where I take the loss and they all win. So it is what it is. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you check out the stream and as well as the top 1 sale. The link for everything is always down below. You get the best deals with code Evan. But make sure you put this view up on your chart. Super simple. Hopefully I didn't overcomplicate things this morning. And last thing, like I said, if you took the loss, it's a great loss. You can't be mad about that. The only thing you can be mad at is if you got stopped out on the short and you went long out of anger. That's not good trading. That is tunnel vision and reactionary to a loss. But if you kept your cool, looked for shorts to step back in, you should have hopefully made your money back and some today, right? Because the trend was clearly bearish. I knew the trend was bearish. I was just saying it's bearish, but I think it needs to pause for a second. And I was right. So appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.